Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Turtle Wars Season 3. It's the penultimate episode, the Sweet 16. 16 bots left in the competition, the very best of the very best. 2 episodes remaining. Next time, we will find our champion, and potentially just in time for the Fan Made Robot Wars Awards, because I haven't seen a video about it yet. Who knows if it's happening this year, though. Anyway, just because we're behind schedule doesn't mean we won't make it, right? Sweet 16 is here, and we open it up with Revenge of Armageddon, the number 1 seed, against the 16th seed of Medcart. Now, these two are very experienced machines. Medcart been here from the beginning, right? From the 3rd ever episode, I believe. Maybe 4th ever episode of uh, the pre-series. And Revenge of Armageddon's original build of Armageddon first competed in one of the earlier heats of pre-series 2. Now, Medcart did just beat Heatwave, very close judge's decision, but Heatwave is a similar design to Revenge of Armageddon. Could an upset be on the cards? Well, Revenge of Armageddon has a lot more experience than Heatwave, but potentially a lot less power behind its weapon. It'll definitely be an interesting match to see, what I'm excited for. Can Medcart take down one of the favorites for this season? Speaking of favorites for the season, how about Derpy 18.0? Clean and easy victory in the last round over Grays. Here they face Demonic, and the worry for me is that Demonic just won't be able to do anything. The thing with Demonic, big win for them to get into the top 16 over Pain. They got an upset, right? They're the 18th seeds, and they are the last custom bot left. So Lisa Average, that's something to be proud of, right? Only one to make the top 16. Can they go further? Not so sure about it. It would be quite the upset, but it would be huge for Demonic. Also, one of 4 low-tier machines left in the competition. Red Hand seeded 3rd, 19th seeds Able. Able, I believe, last Chinese machine left in the competition. It is a bit of a shame. There were some Chinese bots that were edge guarding, shall we say, Hydro and Wavelength, for example. But it was neither of them that made it through. Able got the upset in the last round over Synthetic. Here they take on another Lego machine, but Red Hand, one of the few undefeated machines left, right? So is Synthetic. Red Hand, though, they've looked really deadly in their wins, and they're definitely a favorite for the title. This rebuild has never lost a match, and I don't know if it's going to start today with a match against Able. Then we've got Generic versus Game Over. Now, the last match was 2 vertical spinners against each other, so is this one. Generic, one of the favorites, hands down, for the title, always are. Game Over, a newcomer, one of the 4 low-tier machines left in the competition. Big win over Gravity last time, and I think they can win here. Generic is a lighter machine, which allows Lego Verts to actually do a decent bit of damage to them. So it'll be interesting for sure. I think Game Over has a shot, but Generic, so much more experienced and a lot of power behind it. We will see for sure. Soichoku against Extra Peppermint. Now, this one is a match of 2 of the favorites from the top 32, right? No upsets brought either of these machines here. Extra Peppermint has looked very, very strong this year, in spite of arguably a bit of a weaker record. Big win over Green Screen last week. They took down the 7th seeds in a split decision in UFO 5. Almost took out Plank, were beating Plank before they got a bit unlucky and just chucked out the arena. Some big wins from Extra Peppermint this year have kept them as a bit of a favorite. Did I say Derpy 18.0 took on Grays? That's not right. Soichoku did. That's besides the point. Soichoku, though, always a favorite. We did just see Extra Peppermint deal with a very deadly vertical spinner in the round of 32. Will they be able to do the same to Soichoku? I doubt it, but Soichoku's looked a bit weaker this year. There have been some bots that have really ruffled their feathers, like Quality Control and Tsunami and Conundrum Evo, who they lost to, really. So, we'll see. 6th seed TR5, runners-up last year. Seated a bit lower than I'm sure they would have liked, they take on New Blood, the third of 4 low-tier machines still in the competition, and the second lowest seeded bot left. 22nd. New Blood, very good win over Panic Attack, but TR5 is a bit of a different breed. I think that it's been a great rookie season for them, but it's about to end here. TR5, they're looking to make it back to the grand final and win. They've been trying to get back there for a very, very long time. They got back to the grand final last year after a long string of disappointments, and they got beaten. Could this be their year? Plank's looking a bit weaker. Could be a possibility. Next, 7th seeds UFO 5 against the 10th seeds Creo. Creo, undefeated this season. They've gone a bit under the radar, really. Seeded 10th at now 5-0. Maybe a little bit upsetting, especially if you're a high-tier machine, right? Creo has gotten within reach of a title before. Pre-Series 15, the final pre-series, Creo made it all the way to the top 2 before they lost out to Extra Peppermint. It's an unorthodox design. It's a weird design. It relies a lot on driving, but it is a good design. It's one that works because of how well driven the bot is. Can they beat UFO 5 here? I think they've got more pedigree. It's going to come down to driving in the box between these two. Maybe a bit of a boring match. We'll see. And lastly, Plank, reigning champion, seeded 8th. 8th! And they barely won against Hulkbuster. They took so much damage in that last match, but they're still in. And Storm 2, the 4th and final low-tier machine left, seeded 24th, the lowest seed left. They got a huge upset over Conundrum Evo, but that was a match that was kind of tailored towards them, to be honest. This one's not. Plank is known for revolutionizing the ground game with those toothpick forks. Storm 2, without the ground game, I don't think they can win, and I don't think they have the ground game here. It'll be interesting. So will all of these matches. The very best is all that's left this year. Let's head down to the box with Revenge of Armageddon versus Medcart. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the arena for the top 16. Just 2 episodes left before we crown our champion of Turtle Wars' 3rd season. Here in our top 16, we've got all of our top 8 seeds still in the running. We have 5 machines that pulled off upsets in the first round, and 1 custom bot left. It's time to open up with our first seeds. Revenge of Armageddon, an undefeated season so far, and it was not the job of Rewind to stop them. Medcart just pulled out a win, just barely, over Heatwave in the last round. They are our 16th seeds. They took out Heatwave twice this season, who is also a very devastating horizontal spinner. So this match here, could an upset be on the cards? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1, activate. It's actually kind of funny. If Medcart does lose this, he could say that his only 2 losses this season were from the 1st and 2nd seeds heading into the bracket, as his only loss so far is to Derpy 18.0. Some huge shots from Revenge of Armageddon immediately, and that one definitely hurt. But Medcart is built like a brick. It's not going to break. It didn't break against Heatwave for the full 3 minutes, despite some massive hits. It's not going to break against Revenge of Armageddon. Something even bigger is going to have to happen. That's a huge shot. But like we said, breaking is not something that comes up easy, although the Shremek looks bent from something, and that's another huge shot. Medcart, he's staying alive, but that's all he's doing. He's not getting the pushes, maybe, that you want to see from him. What a hit! Cease! Over the wall! Another horizontal Spinneruta. It's been a second. I think this might be Revenge of Armageddon's 2nd of the season. That is ridiculous. What a shot. Medcart season done just like that. Our first seeds continue their run into the top 8. Our second match of the night. our second seed, Derpy 18.0. Got 4th last time around. They are 3-time champions in the past. Standing between them and a top 8 placement is Demonic, the final custom machine left in the arena for Team Lisa Everidge. They put in a 3-1 regular season. It earned them the 18th seed. And Demonic managed to pull off a dominant upset over Pain to push themselves here. But it's going to be an even taller ask to pull off the win here against Derpy 18.0. Does Demonic have the ability? They're carrying the weight of all the custom machines in the event on their backs. Let's see how it goes. 3, 2, 1. Activate. And Demonic here immediately put off balance from Derpy 18.0. Big flips, but none of them are putting Demonic up and over. A hit from the saw of Ribcage. That one hurts. Demonic, I think their weapon is too high to really hit Derpy. But Derpy at the moment unable to get a flip. There we go. They finally find a way to get that impact in. Another huge attack, but they're not getting Demonic up and over. A hit to the bottom. We've seen a lot of robots fall because the bottom of their chassis is weak. It's happened a couple of times to Green Screen. It's happened to a bunch of bots, whether it be from Ribcage or from the Dutchman. Both the house robots currently in the arena right now. It happens. Derpy 18.0 flips Demonic back the right way up. It's a threat again now. The Dutchman struggling to get back on its wheels. Huge flip, but the power, the gyroscopic force from Demonic is keeping it from getting flipped over. I would say Derpy on top, Demonic, like he said, struggling to land a hit. Ooh, that was a rough landing for sure from that impact. That spinner really started to dig into the ground. Let's see how it goes. Although, Derpy 18.0, another solid flip against Demonic. Demonic potentially starting to run out of advantages. Another big flip. Demonic really in danger. A huge one there. This is some deja vu. Back when Derpy 2.0 won the Derpy team their first title way back in Series 2. They took on Tombstone, and it really did feel a lot like this match here. Am I comparing Demonic to Tombstone? Maybe. Who knows what it could have been if it was introduced earlier on. But nowadays, the bots have gotten so much better, including the Derpy machines, and Demonic is incapable of even touching Derpy 18.0. And he is just getting chucked about. This is what happened to TR5 when they faced Derpy 18.0. Look at that, the blade, it's too high to even hit Derpy 18.0. And Demonic now using the wedge to great effect. What a maneuver. Derpy 18.0 survives, but they are still lower. Demonic trying to get that weapon into play, trying its best. Derpy 18.0 starting to flip itself. Now things may be getting a bit more interesting, but cease too little too late perhaps. It goes to the judges, and Demonic may be going home. Be right back with the decision. Here we are back with the decision. The machine advancing to the top 8 by an 8-1 decision is Derpy 18.0. No custom machines left in the competition. There were some very good ones, maybe with different draws we could have seen Demonic, Green Screen, Trident make it a bit further, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. Derpy 18.0, they stay in it and head to the top 8. Third match of the night, we have our third seed, Red Hand, who has put in a ton of work to look spectacular this season. If their schedule was maybe a bit harder, they probably could have taken the first seed instead of Revenge of Armageddon. They take on Abel, seeded, I can't do quick math, 19th, who took the upset win over Synthetic, who went 4-0 in the regular season. So Abel certainly has a lot of punch to it. It has some pretty strong wins and some pretty rough losses. Let's see what it can do here. 3, 2, 1, activate. 2 vertical spinners, 2 of the 5 left in the competition. There's another vertical spinner match later on as Game Over takes on Generic. So, unfortunately, of the 5 verts that made it this far, we will be saying goodbye to 2 of them at least. But we will have at least 2 make it through. A piece has come off of Red Hand, and out goes Abel! Bullseye throws him out the arena. Cease. Unfortunate for Abel, but we've always ruled that the house robot throws you out. Namely Bullseye, who seems to do it a lot. You are gone. And as such, that means Red Hand is into our top 8. Our top 3 seeds have survived unscathed. Will, our 4th seed. That's our next match. Our last match saw 2 vertical spinners taking each other on. So will this one. Our 4th seed's Generic, their only loss being to UFO 5 in the regular season. They're taking on Game Over, 20th seeds, the 2nd lowest seed left in the competition. It's going to be a tough one for Game Over, the rookies. But they have shown a lot of mettle so far. Their last 2 wins were against high-tier machines, and that upset win was over Gravity, who went 3-0 against high-tier bots. It's clear that there's a lot of skill and ability in this newcomer, but is that skill going to be enough to push him into the top 8? It'd be one heck of an upset. 3, 2, 1, activate. It'd be a real shame to see Generic go out before the finale for the 2nd season in a row. But he's starting in a very bad position as Game Over gets underneath and flips him onto his head. And another huge hit from Game Over. That vertical spinner is looking so strong, and they are chucking Generic about. Another shot from Minnow, but that's not the talking point here. The talking point is the power of Game Over so far in this match. The driving has been spectacular. Game Over really trying to put the nail in the coffin for Generic, but he gets hit and hit again and survives. He's stayed in one piece. We've seen the weapon have issues earlier in this season, but that doesn't seem to matter here because the weapon is really starting to dig into Generic. That is absolutely tragic. And Generic, what a shot though! Cease! Generic takes out Game Over. It was looking truly dire, but the veterans come in and prove why they are considered the most powerful vert in the competition. There is a lot of damage to this bot. It may not look like it, but the entire rear is attached from the bottom plate, and so are some of the sides. It's going to need some repairs heading into its quarterfinal match. Game Over heads home, but they can head home with their head up high because that was a good attempt. This match here, perhaps the most interesting one. We've got a former champion versus a former champion. First, Shoku may not be a former champion of this series, but King of Bots Great and the Robot Combat Major, he's both won in the past. He's the current bronze medalist here in Turtle Wars. Extra Peppermint, in the meantime, has had some fantastic performances as of recent. That win over Green Screen, just a icing on top of the cake of a lot of really strong performances. They had managed to pick up the win over Plank. We could have seen them in easily a top 5 seed, I think. But unfortunately it was not meant to be, and instead they meet Shoku here. It'll be a tough win, but the way Extra Peppermint's been performing recently could be doable. They've got a lot of vertical spinners this side of the bracket. Can they pull it off? 3, 2, 1, activate. And here we go, straight into this match, and straight into Soichoku, getting underneath and churning into the bottom of Extra Peppermint. There is not a fight, that's what they say. On paper, this fight's interesting, but perhaps Soichoku is a tier above, because that is what they are proving at the moment! Almost over the wall, and the Dutchman bringing down the axe. Soichoku heading back. Extra Peppermint self-righting, but it's looking bad. It's looking dire. It's looking like it might be over, because that lifter cannot retract, cannot save Extra Peppermint. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cease. And it is Soichoku with some after the buzzer shots. That's out of character for the Soichoku team. They knock out Extra Peppermint, and the Shremek falls off the bot. They'll be taking out Generic in the Battle of Verts in the next round. In the meantime, though, we still have 3 more fights tonight, so let's get to them. Here we are back in the arena for another match. The 6 seeds, TR5, taking on the lowest seed left in the competition, the 22nd seed, New Blood, who got a big win over Panic Attack. We have seen 3 of the other upset machines get knocked out already, and no upsets yet this round. Will it be New Blood to pull off one of the most impressive upsets of probably the season? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1. Activate, and here we go. New Blood getting up to speed. Big flip immediately, but it's really not that big. New Blood, it's a pretty heavy bot, all things considered. TR5 trying their best to really get into play here. But it's all TR5. At the moment, they flip over New Blood. And that saw blade brought down on the top of the bot. A huge flip. It works a bit more, perhaps like a Zuplex. What a shot, New Blood. TR5. They went up high. Another solid flip out of them. But solid flips aren't always enough. A push into the corner patrol zone, that can definitely have a lot of impact. Very nice shot from New Blood, though. They are, I think, the only newcomer left. Yeah. They have to win to keep a newcomer champion dream alive. A huge hit there from New Blood. TR5, though, they've always been pretty good as a spinner killer. What a flip that one was. And another solid flip. Oh my goodness, that was pretty high up on the wall. And now, allowing Ribcage to bring down that hammer spinner. Wow, TR5 is on top of him. New Blood, they're feeling confident. What a shot right into the pit release button. We have spent no time on that side of the arena so far. It probably really does favor TR5, though. A big flip from TR5, though, again, and another one. But it's kind of just swatting away New Blood, and TR5 definitely in danger. I think the flipper, it's knocked out of place, actually. Huge damage from New Blood. No, that flipper is for sure knocked out of place. And into the pits! Cease! Last season's runners-up knocked out in the round of 16 by a newcomer. New Blood pull it off. They are heading to the quarterfinals. They will take on Red Hand. And TR5 put down the drain, but I think they might have lost even without that. The flipper mangled. Look at that. You can't see a thing because there's no light. But that flipper messed up. That is one of the worst performances we've seen out of TR5. And the Toon Raider team in general, really. We'll have to see. they can pull off more next season, because the newcomers of New Blood will be taking on Red Hands in the quarterfinals. That'll be a real big test for Red Hands' new design and how durable it is, because New Blood is looking absolutely devastating. Penultimate fight of the night here. The 7th seeds, UFO 5, taking on... Quick, someone do the math. 10th seeds, sorry, I'm stupid. Creo. Creo, undefeated this season, only seeded 10th. UFO 5 did pull a loss. It was a split decision against the recently eliminated Extra Peppermint. This is a very interesting match to me, because both of these bots are very tactical machines that focus a lot on driving. One flip from UFO 5 could win this fight, but we say that every match Creo has. They took on a flipper last round, a flipper who was actually lower than them, and they didn't get flipped. Creo is always a surprise package. You never know what you're going to get out of him. Let's see what we get this time around. 3, 2, 1, activate, and here we go. UFO 5 trying to get under, but that lifter is not in place? No, it is. Not sure what the problem was there, but they're not getting under Creo. That's the problem. That is a huge problem, and the pit is opened. And considering how important ground clearance and getting under your opponent is to pushing the other one, ooh, Creo, he tried to capitalize on it. It might have been a mistake, because now he is on top of UFO 5. And that lifter has toppled Creo. An undefeated season is ended in the top 16. And Creo, they are done surely. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cease. And they right Creo, still mobile, still showing that. But they've been counted out, and their season is done. Unfortunate. But we have to say goodbye to our number 10 seeds. It was a fantastic season from them, and I'm sure you could argue that they should have been seeded higher. They went undefeated in the regular season, right? But at that point, all you can do is argue. What really happened is that they were given the 10th seed. They had their opportunity to win this fight, but they made a mistake, and UFO 5 capitalized. UFO 5 heading into our top 8. The last fight of the night here makes me have to apologize for a mistake I made. Earlier I said New Blood was the lowest seed left in the competition at 22. That's not quite true. Because we have Storm 2 here, who is 27th. Insane. Meantime, Plank sitting here already with a toothpick out of whack. They're the much favored bot, but the champ has had some tough times, including their last match against Hulkbuster that they very, very nearly lost. Let's see how this one goes. 3, 2, 1, activate. The new additions to the Storm 2 build of that plastic front have helped this bot so much. It's so much lower to the ground than it was before, and it is Plank who is dealing with that low ground clearance. But a huge flip from Plank, and when you're upside down, ground clearance doesn't mean a thing! Oh my goodness! Oh my, what a flip! Storm 2 still going, and another one! This is the power that we have been sorely missing from Plank, but it is shedding parts. One fork off, one bent inside the chassis, and the rear stabilizer falling off. And this is ridiculous. Plank still able to get underneath, still heading towards the wall, and Storm 2 still in the arena. This is insane to think about. Another attempted flip, but the one that gets flipped more is Plank. Storm 2 does not want to be stuck upside down. Not at all. A big flip from Plank, but it rights Storm 2. That's what Storm 2 wants. Storm 2 now inside of Ribcage. It's kind of difficult to get out from under there, I'm gonna be honest. That's certainly something we have not encountered yet. Plank trying to get his opponent free, and Storm 2 is freed, but Plank is upside down. Storm 2, what a performance. The account name version of it, we figured might have to replace the new one, or sorry, the old one. We said, well, it was pretty successful, and our good old version of Storm 2 hasn't been for a while, but it has ripped the flipper off of Plank. There is nothing left of our reigning champions. Storm 2 of all bots is going to knock it out of this tournament. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cease. And the 27th seeds keep it going. They're still in. They just took out the champions, and they don't even have an active weapon. Could Storm 2 be one to truly reckon with, or will Revenge of Armageddon just take him out? It's gonna be an interesting match for sure. But the only way to find out is to watch next episode, because this one's done. We have our top 8. We have 6 of our top 8 seeds. All of our top 4 seeds still in this tournament. But the reigning champs and the runners-up have been knocked out by sub-top 20 seeds. Could those two upset machines make it even further? Could they win the whole event? We'll have to find out next episode.